Cool. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is James Boy. I'm on staff with Ujima. And I welcome everyone to our annual Investee report out. We have our friends here with us, Dorchester Food Co-op, Urbane, CERO Cooperative, to share with us sort of their year. As we've noted, for folks coming, the annual investor report out is always our last meeting of the year. And the intention behind this workshop is really to learn about our portfolio companies, their achievements, their challenges over the past year, and really how we can support them in the coming year. And so really want you all to bring some questions, engage folks if you have anything on your mind. But to start, I'm going to pass it to Ron, who's representing Urbane, talk a little bit more about the upcoming year.
Sure, James. Thank you. And it's good to be with everyone tonight. And now to be with Ujima 2 days in a row. I got to be with the Business Alliance businesses last night. I'm going to share my screen to do a quick overview of where we are with Urbane. Is it possible to share my screen, James?
Yes, I can give you access right now.
Great. Appreciate you. All right. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So first of all, just want to share that the progress that we've made this year, and really that we've made since the inception of this project, is really not possible without the BOSTON UJIMA project. Certainly, Nia and probably James will remember this, but maybe others of you will remember this, that in 2019, we held a demonstration in what will be the future Urbane space. Because we made an unusual ask of Ujima. We were adamant about our neighbors, folks who would frequent the Urbane, and investors of color having a stake in the Urbane. And so when we were in the very beginning stages of formulating this project, we came to Ujima for our first investor solicitation. What was weird about it was that we were basically asking for a startup investment, which was really not a part of the practice at that time. But what I learned last night at the Business Alliance is that Nia Evans never says no, but she says, let's think about how we can do that. And so we did a demonstration, 50 Ujima members, 50 more members from Roxbury to Really World Cafe. The concept of Urbane at the bowling building, served food, had our bands there. And so really from that moment, we've been in deep partnership with Ujima, and that partnership was really taken to a different level this year with a very generous investment from your members. And so I'd like to share a little bit about how we have moved forward over the course of the year. The slide that you see in front of you is a little bit of a dashboard across different streams of work that we've been undertaking over the last year. So we've been going gangbusters on fundraising, doing a lot of licensing for liquor licensing and zoning work. We've been creating arts experiences really to start to test the concepts that will be permanent fixtures and installations at Urbane Cafe. We've concentrated on more press hits and social media visibility, and we've really dug into space design as a precursor to the construction that we will do in 2023. As you can see, we're feeling pretty good about most areas of work. I think the laggard here is fundraising. I'll say a little bit more about that on the next slide. We have attracted a generous amount of investment, but we are still facing a pretty significant gap. And we'll talk a little bit about that in the next slide here. So over the course of the last year, we have raised $845,000 towards our $3.6 million raise for the Urbane. Just by way of a little bit of detail, about 85% of that raise is really for the construction of the Urbane space. If you've ever been into what will be our future home at the bowling building, it is pretty much concrete floors and white walls and a couple of naked hookups for systems. So everything that we need to build and has to be done ground up to bring you the experience that we intend to build. There's certainly a little bit of extra capital in there so that we have reserves. I think one of the things that we've learned over the course of the pandemic is that we will need backstop and cushion in a time that continues to be volatile from an economic standpoint. So we want to make sure that we're able to protect the business, protect workers, and better ensure our sustainability over time. And so a lot of our focus will be in the coming months closing this $2.75 million gap that is remaining. I am happy to report that we are involved in a number of conversations that, should they come through, it closes that gap. But you will understand, as I'm sure all of you do, that you remain nervous until you've got that last commitment and that last check assigned. But we are encouraged by the investment that has been made, and Ujima has been the anchor investor to this point. So again, we have great gratitude. Within the last couple of days, really major progress for us on licensing and zoning. On December 8th, the Massachusetts legislature ratified Boston's home rule petition for bowling building liquor licensing. And so one of the big things that is hard to come by in this industry, especially in an affordable way, is a liquor license. And so the city of Boston, who has been a tremendous partner in this project, put forth the home rule petition to allocate 4 non-transferable liquor licenses to the bowling building, one of which would be assigned to the Urbane Cafe. Just about 3 hours ago, I received notice that the governor signed the bill today. And so it is a done deal, and we will go into the application process in the new year for the liquor license. The other piece that we found out quite unexpectedly at the beginning of the year is that the bowling building is not zoned for live entertainment. And so even though the city RFP'd this space with the intention of it being multifunctional, there was an oversight in making sure that it was zoned in a way that it could be multifunctional. Just yesterday, the Boston Zoning Board of Approval approved our zoning variant. So we will be zoned for live entertainment, extended hours up until 2 a.m., although we will not be open that late every night, and for full culinary services. And so those are really huge milestones that for us on the liquor licensing piece has been about 2.5 years in the making. And on the zoning piece has been probably 9 months in the making. Over the course of the year, we have tested a number of arts concepts and really started to build our partnership of arts organizations in Boston. While we want the Urbane Cafe to be the hub of a unique experience and a experience that is Nubian Square's experience, we also want to make sure that you get a surround sound version of Urbane, so that there are many places across the city that you can hear, see, and be immersed in the experience. And so over the last year, we've had 3 sold out performances at ICA Boston. Many of our musicians, including the Imagine Orchestra and our founder, Dr. Bill Banfield, are now in residency at Launji School of Music and have hosted a series of concerts through the School of Music. We reinstated our weekly Urbane concert series at Daryl's on Sunday night with our operations partner, Nia Grace, who is the critical third leg of the Urbane Cafe project. And over 2021 and 22, we've been involved in a series of partnerships with King Boston and Roxbury Cultural District to bring installations to Nubian Square. And in 2023, our Imagine Orchestra will be featured at the Embrace Gala. This was really meant, all of these experiences, to start to seed what the experience will be, and to make sure that we are taking the time to build demand, hear from the folks who will frequent the Urbane, cafe and get a sense of what the appetite is for the concepts that we want to bring to market. We've also had about 2 to 3x growth in our digital presence over the year. We launched our website about a year ago, and it has grown almost exponentially, and due in part to a number of wonderful stories about the project, not the least of which was the story you see in your top left-hand corner from Next City, which was really prompted by the BOSTON UJIMA Project about your investment in the Jazz Urbane Cafe. What we loved about this report is that it was really framed as a civic innovation for folks in a neighborhood to invest in an amenity, an institution, a place of community building that it wanted for itself. This story was so inspirational that the lead singer from Talking Heads, David Byrne, who runs an online publication himself, picked up and reprinted this story because he was so inspired by the story. We have grown our presence on Instagram and Facebook and done outreach to a number of places. I had the opportunity, now I can't even remember, you'll be able to tell me, Nia, whether that was spring or summer, where Nia and I were featured together with Nia Grace on WGBH's Basic Black, talking about closing racial wealth gaps, but with a particular emphasis on looking at the work that you are doing as a membership organization and at Jazz Urbane as an up-and-coming business. We have also done a lot of work to start to design the space at Jazz Urbane. So we are completed with schematic design, which is what you see on the screen here. Our design is a little bit of a theater in the round design, so that this is an immersive community, so that we are surrounding the arts and the arts is level with the community, and that there is a way to kind of take in the experience from all corners of what will be a unique space. There will be opportunities here to reconfigure this space. We can clear out all tables, which we plan to do for dancing. We can set this up more theater style for small theater, dance, and film. So it will not just be music. We do plan to have a mix of arts presentations. There will be a private dining room here that can be used for meetings, co-working. It can also open up to the performance space in a variety of ways. You will also see at the top of the picture here that there is a green room, because we're adamant about artists being treated as first-class citizens in the royalty that they are. So we wanted to make sure that not only was the stage a regal space for them, but they have quarters for themselves. I think folks will remember some of the history, particularly of jazz music, in a more racialized era, when a lot of artists had to come in through the kitchen, could not stay near the places where they played. And so we wanted to make sure that in the design of this space, we were putting artists on the pedestal that they deserved. We are in the process of completing our design development, which includes interior and doing engineering design and construction drawings, which are beginning very soon. When all of this comes together, we think that the Jazz Urbane Cafe will look something like this. Marvelous entrance to welcome the community that opens into a state-of-the-art facility where you can be served many parts of the room, find comfort in many parts of the room. A dynamic design that really features a variety of materials, gives you this theater in the round feel. We wanted to make sure that it really hybridized the concept of a restaurant and of a theater, that it was always both at the same time and not leaning too far in either direction. Really wanting a set of materials that I think signal the elegance that we want for Nubian Square and that Nubian Square deserves, and for this to be a bit of a palace for the neighborhood, as it were. And so, you know, we're really excited about being able to use the variety of spaces. We're in the private dining room now, and you see it will be able to open up to the stage in a variety of ways, soft seating, table seating, and a number of things. But again, we can reconfigure this in a number of ways. And so we are very excited about this Very quickly to close, looking ahead to 2023. Fundraising, we talked about raising an additional 2.75 million. I would urge anybody who is still interested in further discussions about investment in Jazz Urbane, let's please be in touch. We want all the help that we can get in filling this gap. From a licensing and zoning standpoint, we will formally apply for our liquor license in the first quarter and initiate construction permitting in the first quarter. We'll continue to create Jazz Urbane arts experiences with the Imagine Orchestra at the Embrace Gala. Jazz Urbane Cafe will return to the ICA in April of 2023, and we will start to plan Jazz Urbane Cafe menu tastings, and Ujima members will be privileged for that as well. We do want to honor your partnership by giving you a first taste of what's to come. We'll complete space design and drawings in the first quarter of 2023 and likely initiate construction in the second quarter of 2023. I will stop sharing and just leave you with a gift, which is one of my favorite playlists from the Jazz Urbane Recordings label, which features a number of the artists, local and national, who will appear on the Jazz Urbane stage, and you can find that in chat.
Cool. Thank you so much, Ron. So before we go to Dorchester Food Co-op, we're gonna have a Q&A just for Jazz Urbane. Specifically, I know that was a lot that y'all just heard. Just want to give y'all a little space to sort of reflect, think about it, but also offer some questions that you might have directly for Ron. Thinking maybe like 5 minutes, just to make sure that we have time for our other guests. So feel free to ask your question, go off mute and ask it, or also put it in chat.
I have a question. This is Robin. So when you're asking, or when you mentioned where people can invest, is that through a website? Is that through Ujima, or how do people do that?
So additional investment, you can find more information on the website, or you can contact me directly. Each share is $50,000. We are doing some fractionated shares as well. So happy to talk about what you may be interested in. We may also be offering a couple of other options for folks to support us financially early in the year. But certainly would be happy to talk, and I will put my email address in chat in case you want to get in touch with me.
Hi, Ron. This is a bit of a follow-up from Robin's question. Thank you for a great comprehensive presentation first. I want to make sure, I know there was an event that you were planning with the foundation earlier.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if it's okay to talk about that or not, but I don't know if you want to mention that and maybe mention other events that are planned. And then I do have kind of another follow-up question in comment.
So we had planned towards the end of this year to do an event in our space with the Boston Foundation as a part of its business equity fund to highlight businesses of color. Due to a number of factors, that event did not come together, but we are in talks for it to happen hopefully in the first quarter of the new year. So that will be an opportunity for their donor base to engage with us and perhaps to generate more investment. But that is also an event that we would want Ujima to be a part of, so that you are already getting a part of the experience and the benefit of being investors. There is also the chance that we will be doing an event sometime in the first half of the year at the Quinn House as well.
Thank you, Ron. And then my follow-up to that is I do know of a Ujima member who has invested in Jazz Urbane independently. Just we were just catching up, and he just happened to mention that to me. So I think I would just like to maybe seed a thought that there may be some Ujima members, some Ujima investors, some Ujima donors who may be interested in partnering on a similar event that would include some outreach again to Ujima members, Ujima investors, or Ujima donors with the agenda of seeing who's interested in investing independently in Jazz Urbane.
And if you would like to host a gathering, collaborate on hosting a gathering, please let me know. We'd be more than happy to do that with you.
Thank you.
So the question, Louise, from Louise, go ahead. Then we probably have to move on to.
Yeah, well, I just read it. I mean, it sounds great and everything. Like in my community, sometimes when a restaurant offers rooms to community groups, they sometimes serve snacks or samples from their restaurant there. And in Calgary Hotel, they own the new thing, Vesper, a plant-based, and they have a room and they have projectors and everything for the community groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if you're thinking of that for the community groups.
Certainly. Part of our business plan is to make sure that community groups and particularly arts groups and youth arts groups have access to the space on a pro bono basis. So we will be sequestering time for community groups and our neighbors to use the space. I'm also thinking about all of what folks do to host their annual galas and some other things. And so we want to make sure that folks have a home at Jazz Urbane to do that and can do that in a low overhead way.
So actually, we probably could take one more question. Any more questions from the line? Feel free to put it in the chat. And we'll have some more question time Q&A afterwards. So don't feel like to rush it.
Great. I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Cool. So we'll pass it to Dorchester Food Co-op.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Can we, Robin, sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
Can you, I guess I can share screen now, right?
Yeah.
Co-host, great. Okay. Robin, can you see the screen?
I can. Can everybody else see it?
Yep.
All right. So we'll just give a few highlights of the year. I'm Robin Saunders, also a member of Dorchester Food Co-op. This is an initiative that started about 12 years ago, creating a grocery store in the Boston area owned by the community. So it's been 12 works in the making. I am member of the co-op as well as a current board member, and also with me right now is Jenny. If Jenny, you want to just quickly introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm one of the founders of the co-op, and I've been working on this since 2012. So it's a long haul. And I live in Dorchester. I've lived here for about 40 years, and I'm really excited about the co-op becoming a reality next year.
Wonderful. So we're just going to advance through the slideshow very quickly, and then if you have any questions after. So basically, Ujima is all about working collaboratively. You all know what a co-op is. So Dorchester Food Co-op is a co-op owned and financed by its members, and membership is open to everyone and all. The next screen. Our mission is to be a community and worker-owned grocery store that nourishes employees and reinvests in the community. Next screen. And of course, we serve, everybody that lives in the city and beyond. We get questions all the time. Well, it's in Dorchester. I don't live in Dorchester. Do I have to live in Dorchester to be a member? The food co-op is for everyone, no matter where you live, no matter what city, town, or state or neighborhood in Boston that you live in. It's all for everyone. Next slide. And some of the highlights for the year. So even though we are not currently operating as a store, we are a community of members. And so we are out and about throughout the city and the state all the time, probably weekly. So even though we don't have a space where we're operating as a grocery store right now, we are operating as a community and as an initiative. So this is just a few of the events that we had last year. The Winters Farmers Market, the Dorchester Winters Farmers Market, which is every winter, was initially created and started by Dorchester Food Co-op, I think about 5 or 6 years ago. And right now it's operated by the Codman Square Neighborhood Association or Neighborhood Collective. So that was a picture of Winters Farmers Market. We also had a tree giveaway, which if you, in that picture right behind that person at the bottom, that is the picture of the building where our store will be, which is 195 Bowden Street on the corner of Topliff. And let's see, we had a couple of seed swap events at the Food Projects greenhouse. We have an annual, the Green New Deal event. We have that annually. So I think 2003 will be our 4th event. So yeah, that's just a highlight of some of the bigger events we had throughout the year. Next screen. I think some of the challenges or some of the challenges that we overcame this year, 2022. The main challenge was fundraising, of course. So the project itself to fund the construction and the to cover the costs, and Jenny will go into more detail on this. She's the treasurer, so she knows all the money aspects. But the funding and the hiring of our general manager, as well as membership. Those are the main challenges of 2022. This shows a picture of one of Oasis on Bellevue Farm, one of very, very local farms in Boston that we partner with for our CSA. We, I think, tripled our participation in 2022 from the previous year. So we had 72 families participating, and over $25,000 in food was distributed to those folks. We distributed 700 pounds of fresh produce to senior citizens in the PACE programs in Roxbury, Dorchester, and Jamaica Plain. And that's a collaboration with the Upham's Corner Health Center and their seniors. Next slide. Yes, and membership is always an ongoing effort. So the beginning of the year of 2022, we started out at, I forget what the number was, but we gained 230 new members. We're currently at, as of yesterday, 1,442 members. And we have a goal, we had an annual goal to reach to 1,500. So that's our challenge now. We have like 2 weeks to get about 60 members. So that is our challenge together. Next slide. And Jenny, you want to?
Sure. Thanks, Robin. So this has been a long process to build the store, and I loved the presentation about Jazz Urbane because we've been through many of the same trajectory. So a few years ago, we actually hired our architect. We're using a architecture firm called Co-Everything, and you can tell by the name of their firm, they are working mainly with co-ops and community groups and community-led initiatives, and we're really grateful to have them. This year, they finished the design and construction documents for the co-op. As Robin mentioned, we are in collaboration with Viet Aid, which is a nonprofit developer in Dorchester, and we're going to be located in the commercial space in a new building that they've built at the corner of Topliff and Bowden Streets in the Bowden Geneva neighborhood. The upper floors of this building are all 41 units of affordable housing, and we are the commercial tenant on the first floor. This year we applied for and received our building permit, and we hired our contractor. We hired a company called One Way Development, which is a it's owned by a person of color, and they are located in Roxbury. Their main office is in Roxbury. And we also hired an owner's rep. This is the person who was who will be the bridge between the co-op and the contractor and make sure that everything is going smoothly. Gary's been really great. He's got a background in construction and design himself. So in July of this year, we had our groundbreaking celebration. The building was finished for the tenants in June. And so we were able to start planning our construction. This is just a photo of many of the people who were at that groundbreaking celebration. It was very exciting to really see our space, and similarly to Jazz Urbane, it's starts out as a completely empty space, and we had to do the build out of this store. We had many of our elected officials at this groundbreaking ceremony, which was really great. We've gotten tremendous amount of support from the city and state officials on this project. And we've been through, I think, 3 mayors of the city of Boston during the time that we've been organizing. And I'm happy to say all of them are very supportive of the project as well. This is a picture of the building when it was under construction. It's now finished, but it was mostly finished when this picture was taken. And these are the commercial, these are the tenant units up above, and the commercial space for the co-op is down here on the first floor. So in September, the construction company started the construction of this space. For a grocery store, there's just a tremendous amount of plumbing and electrical work that needs to be done, as well as equipment to be ordered. So this is a picture of the back of the store, looking towards the front, looking towards Bowden Street. And you can see they had to install a lot of plumbing and piping in the store for all of the refrigeration equipment. So the floor was not finished, it was just gravel, and this is laying down some of the pipes. And this next picture, this actually makes the space look a lot bigger than it really is, although it's a really good sized store. But this is one of those lenses that make you think you have acres of space. But this was just last week, I believe. They had to lay down radon mats on top of that gravel before pouring the concrete floor. So that all happened last week. And we thought, since we've showed you some pictures of the store under construction, we actually have some renderings of what we envision the store to look like when it's complete. So this would be, as you walk into the store, this would be looking at the produce section, and you can see way in the back here that there's a bulk section. There's going to be bulk grains, which is really great, both for affordability as well as sustainability. This is a section where you bring your own containers and you take as much or as little of these different products, including spices and grains and dried fruits, etc. And we're trying to eliminate as much plastic as possible in the store. The store is also going to contain a very small cafe at the front of the store, so you can purchase a cup of coffee, pastry, light refreshments, I think smoothies we're going to have, and sit and enjoy them. There is no cafe in the Bowden Geneva neighborhood, so we're really excited to provide a space for people to gather and get to know each other. We always talk about the food co-op as more than just a grocery store, but it's really a community space for everybody. And this is another picture of the cafe. And this is a picture of the outside of the store. The entrance is on the corner here. And we are planning to be able to bring the store out into the sidewalk. The building is set back from the street a little bit, which gives us a wider sidewalk area to display some of the items that will be in the store. And I think it's really important for the neighborhood to bring out the products. And it's kind of like a New York thing where they have a lot of produce and flowers, et cetera, outside the store. So as Robin said, in 2022, we reached a membership of over 1442 households. So it's actually more individual people than just that. We also signed our lease with Viet Aid, who's our landlord, who is giving us a very affordable rent for the space, which is wonderful. And we also reached about 90% of our fundraising goal. The goal at the moment is about $3.5 million, although that number does keep going up with inflation and cost of both inventory and construction and equipment going up. But we currently have about a $400,000 gap that we're trying to close. And once again, we could definitely use your help. We have a number of ways that people can help support the store, both an investment program called a direct public offering, as well as a donation problem. I'm sorry, a donation program, not a donation problem. It'll be a problem if people didn't make donations, but we're really grateful for all the support that we've gotten. And we have, we're expecting to close on a loan from Ujima, which we're very grateful for, a $25,000 loan, which will help close this gap as well. If anybody is interested in joining the co-op or donating to the co-op or investing, you can do that through our website. And we have a website, we have a link tree on our website. People may or may not be familiar with that, but I put the link to the link tree at the bottom of this slide, and I think Robin can put it in the chat as well. A link tree is just it's kind of like an index, shows you where you can go on the website to find out all sorts of things, both our programs and fundraising as well.
Yes.
Robin?
Yep.
Take it away.
One good thing I'm not sure if I mentioned, but we have our own parking lot for the store, which is huge. I think we have 14 or 18 spaces, I forget, but we do have our own parking, off-street parking, so that's great. So for the current, yeah, right to the left of the building, and then over to the right is where the top left side street is. And also there's like a little plaza there for the tenants, and once the tenants walk in to their front door, there's also a community room which the co-op will have access to, and we'll have programming in the community room as well as continuation of what we're doing now out in the community. So yes, we do have challenges. As always, every business has challenges. So moving forward going into 2023, even though we overcame last year's challenges, now we're looking towards this new year coming up. And it's always membership, because you always have to grow your members. As a co-op, everybody is welcome to shop at the store. You don't have to be a member to shop, but we do want to encourage everyone to become a member, especially before the store is completed and before there actually is a store, because all of that money is, you know, upfront money for us, and it helps with us going to additional funders and showing the support from the local community at our own community neighborhood level. Membership is only $100. That's one share. Everybody is equal as a member, so everybody can buy one share, $100 membership. We have a program called Membership for All, where we honestly believe that we don't want any obstacles for anyone to become a member of Dorchester Food Co-op. So we have some funders as well as members who've donated into our fund. I always forget the name of the fund.
The Solidarity Fund.
The Solidarity Fund, yes. I always want to say sustainability fund, the Solidarity Fund. So, you know, people can choose if they feel $100 is beyond, and, you know, it's a burden for them, they can choose to pay 25, anywhere from 25 and up. And then the balance, they can ask for the balance to be paid from the Solidarity Fund. And we want everybody, I want you all to spread the word for people in your family, friends, whoever, let them know, please take advantage of that fund. There's no questions asked. They just need to choose it. And then obviously, if anybody would like to donate to the fund, again, that's on the website. You can just choose it. So our challenge right now from now until January 1st is to try to get 60 new members. We'd love to get to 1,500. That was our goal for the year. So we'd love you all on this call to join today, tomorrow, or before the weekend, or anytime before January 1st. It's $100, or again, you can choose the Solidarity Fund, and also just share information about us to others who value, you know, what we all value, which is coming together as a community, having fresh food, access to fresh food for those in the area, as well as using sustainability practices with everything that we do. Community is always first. It's people before profits. We're building a community, not necessarily a grocery store. And another, again, our other challenge is to close our fundraising gap. So we need to raise another 400,000. People can do that by becoming a personal investor in Dorchester Food Co-op, and those shares start at, or that funding starts at $2,000. Again, that's on the website when you click invest, and there'll be information there. And then I think Jenny mentioned we did hire our general manager about 3 weeks ago. His name is John Santos. Last night, we couldn't come to Ujima. We had another representative go to Ujima, but we were at our meet and greet with our Zoom meet and greet with our general manager. So hopefully we'll put that online. We have to figure out how to do that, but we'd love to invite you all to our January meet and greet. We do that every month. The day will change, so you can always check our link tree. The day of the week changes monthly because we want to make everybody be able to attend. So sometimes it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on the month. You can always check the dates in our link tree. Let's see what else. So our other challenge will be hiring the next set of staff. And that, again, once we start doing that in the spring, all of that information will be on our link tree. So please spread the word, share our information, send out our social media. You can also share that as well. Next slide. Yes, and this is just faces, nice, shining, happy faces of some of our membership. Jenny mentioned that the three mayors, I believe two of the mayors are current member owners. So our current member and also Menino were both members as well. And when you go to our website, we do have I think it's a 2-minute promo video that's really informational as well. So I hope you get a chance to look at that. Jenny?
Well, I think I'm going to stop screen sharing now. Let's see. We come back. So thanks very much for listening to our presentation, and we're happy to answer any questions about the co-op. And thanks so much for inviting us here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you both so much. That was wonderful. Are there any questions for DFC?
I do see a question in the chat.
Yes.
Says, I hope I'm not missing an earlier one, but says, will the general manager and workers be voting members? That was a problem with the Harvard Co-op. What is the website, especially donating to the Solidarity Fund? Okay, so that's a couple of questions. Yes, we were incorporated as a hybrid, or they call it a multi-stakeholder co-op. So we have both community members and we have worker owners as well. And they're two distinct classes, so that there are seats on the board for people from both classes. So right now the board consists only of community members because we don't have workers in the co-op yet. We just hired our general manager a few weeks ago, and we have one part-time organizer, but really the bulk of the 30 or so slots that will be people working in the store are not filled yet. So once they're hired and past a certain minimum time working in the store, they will be eligible. The workers will elect board members from that pool of workers as well. So they will have a voice in the governing body of the co-op. And I agree about the problem with Harvest Co-op not having that model. I think it's really important for workers to be involved in governance. And then the website, so donating to the Solidarity Fund. There's on the website, we have a number of ways to donate. There's a page for donations and investments, and also on the join page, people can donate to the Solidarity Fund as well. They can just make a notation of that. If anybody has trouble figuring that out, feel free to send an email to info@dorchesterfoodcoop.com, and we can help you navigate those pages. And Turan says, can't wait, my wife and I are members. That's great. Thank you so much for joining the co-op and participating in it. I don't see any other questions.
Are you planning to carry organic food? Yes, we are. We're not going to be exclusively organic. We're going to have a mix of conventional and organic food. We'll also have a bulk section as well.
And also a big priority is buying local food as well. And so, you know, local means a lot of different things, but we already have a lot of relationships with farms right in the city of Boston, as well as the surrounding areas. And we're going to be working with some of the local entrepreneurs right here in Dorchester, from Commonwealth Kitchen and other places like that, to carry their products as well.
Gio's question, what are your plans to involve youth, as this area of our neighborhood needs much positive community engagement, especially in the summer? And yes, the GM store operations for any store, any grocery store, is managed by the general manager, and he has that in his purview. He previously he was with the food co-op in Providence, Urban Greens was the name. And yes, they absolutely worked with youth and the community for their staff. And he was definitely going to do the same here in Boston. We already have a couple of relationships with a few nonprofits, and also planning to work with college and different internships and mentorships as well to work with the youth.
Also, we're working, I believe this is happening, our architect connected with Youth Build,
Yep.
which is a program for young adults, I guess, and I think maybe high school as well. And they will be involved both with some of the construction of the store, I think particularly painting, and they also have a design program. And so the youth in that design program will be designing some of the murals that will go in the store as well. So we're really excited about that. I would say that over the years, one of the benefits of taking 10 years to build this store is that we've had an opportunity to create a lot of partnerships with different groups in the area. And I think the success of the store will depend on those partnerships, because we can't do anything by ourselves.
And Nia's asking about future chefs. And yes, we do have a great relationship with future chefs, and have already for a few years been talking about how excited we are to start working with them.
Yeah, one of the things is the back of the store is fairly small. We wanted to put as much of the store in the retail area as possible. So we don't have a huge amount of room to produce our own prepared foods. So that's why the partnerships with groups like Future Chefs and Commonwealth Kitchen, and you know, we've had a relationship with Fresh Food Generation for a long time. And so we'll be in the cafe area and the prepared food areas, we'll be selling products, some of which we'll be able to make in the store, and some of which we will be purchasing from these other commissaries. But one thing that's exciting I learned today, that we're going to be able to bake bread right in the store. So freshly baked bread, I think I really love bread, so I'm very excited about that. And I think it's hard to find really good bread in Dorchester, I think. Other questions? Well, thanks very much once again for inviting us.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you all so much. I believe Josefina has joined us from CERO Coop. I wonder if Josefina would like the floor to share on behalf of CERO any updates there.
Let me unmute myself. I apologize because I'm running late. We have a very bad day, freezing outside and running, and still we have a truck in the street. It's very difficult, very hard. So thank you for, I'm so happy for Dorchester Food Co-op because I remember a few years ago when Menino was the mayor, we all the time over there fighting for this piece of land. So I'm so happy. Are you hear me? Are you available to hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. So we didn't have a time to prepare anything for this presentation because we received the invitation today, the email. So nobody in CERO knew about it. But I can start to give you a small report about where we are. This year we have a lot of challenges, but we made a lot of progress. The agreement with BU at the beginning was very, very damaged CERO because it wasn't bring us the revenue that we spent to service them, was renegotiated, and now we are working with them in very good way that we can cover all the costs, all the expenses that we have providing service to BU. And permanently, we have people over there. We've been working with them every day because BU beginning from zero food waste. Before they was working with CERO, they say for 30 years, but not doing food waste program over there, never. So they started from zero. So, but a lot of progress has been done, and we are in very good shape with them. This agreement is for 5 years. So we growing, and right now they are built 3 new buildings, including the computer science building, and all these new locations going to be added to our agreement. So that's mean more revenue for us. This year we have a lot of challenges, and one of the thing that damage is the high cost of the gas. We have a Ford truck, and we was paid $3 and some change for the gallon of diesel, and now we pay $6 and something. So the diesel have increased the 100% or more, and that's affect a lot. We pay $5,000 and $6,000 every month for fuel. And that is a huge problem. And the same happened with the vehicle maintenance, the wheel and everything. When you go into the dealer for any repair, everything increased a lot. So we are a new customer. And for the first time this year, CERO have some positive income in the quarter. I think so the last quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter, we have a positive income. That means that we didn't have any negative income, but so we can see that profit in some quarter, but maybe in the next quarter, we're not going to see because maybe a truck break down and we had to go through expenses that it wasn't unpredictable expenses. And this is the one of the more high costs that we paid, the maintenance of the vehicle. It's a heavy duty job, and the vehicle needed maintenance all the time. And a lot of the stuff that happen in the truck, nobody see it until it happen. You can see one tire that is bad or something like that, but a lot of things nobody know until not happening. So this is a very difficult business, and need have a lot of challenges and need a lot of passion. Another thing that was challenging for us, that is we have a short CDO driver in United States for the last 2 years. And everybody got running, looking for CDO drivers. And what happened when that's happened, that if you got one CDO driver, they asking for a very high salary. That most of the time we not available to pay this high salary that most of the big company pay to the driver. And another problem that we have is that we're not in the position to pay a medical cover. And a lot of these people all the time, they are looking for a medical cover. We hired 2 different people for different companies for grant writer, because now with the Green Deal, there are opportunity for a lot of grant and the federal level for green economy. And we want to take advantage of this opportunity and be available to apply for big grant. We don't looking for grant for $25,000 or $30,000, because that's not going to helping us with the priority that we have. We have that we can get a $60,000 grant by the year. With that, we can cover the medical cover for the 7 and the 8 employee that CERO have in payroll. Another challenge that we're planning for this 2023 is that CERO had, we started to working because we want to get our own land where CERO can build the storage, where we can build the parking lot for the truck. Actually, we pay here in Boston $45,000 a year for rent and very limited space. And we believe that we can get a better action around, not in the metropolitan area, but yes, outside of the city. We can get a better deal and better condition and less money for what we pay here, because we had to build our own facility, and we had to build our own composting site, because that's the way that we're going to be able to save some money and invest in the people who are doing the job and better salary and better best benefit. We are paying $100K a year for tipping fee. That's a lot of money. And we believe it have a piece of land where we can manage, we can build this facility, not going to cost $100K a year to maintain. Because with 2 people, you can do that. Because we have experience for the another side where we had to tip in. 2021, CERO have a deficit for $86,000. This year, we are here in December 13. Our negative income is $21,000. And we didn't receive this year money from nowhere. We didn't get a loan and we didn't get a grant. All this is the work of the people who are employed in CERO or member of the CERO. A lot of time you see me and you see my face. I'm working like CERO founder. I'm working so that the whole thing in CERO be included in everything. When you send the invitation for a meeting or what, this invitation should include all CERO employed. We are co-op, and we don't want to minimize the work for or anyone. We wanted everybody learning, and we wanted everybody H1 development and leadership skill. I wanted that in few years, maybe 2 years, that I'm not going to be here because at one moment I had to stop because for the last, I don't remember for where, I've been working 15, 16 hours every day. And I would like to have somebody who can do my job, at least that nobody had to work a 15 or 16 hour day. I don't want it that keep going forever in CERO. We wanted development this way that the people can work in better way. So we added this month, December, we added 4 new customers. And big customer. And we are very happy with that because we understand there are a lot of people in our community, very small. They want to do food waste and composting, but it's not bring revenue for us. The account that brings revenue to CERO is on the commercial account. Northeast University, PU, North Hill, Da Silva, Waco, New Bridge, Boston College, all in college. That's the account that bring the revenue. When they pay a bill, we can pay bill with the money came from them. We're not going to deny the service to the small business from our community that we are happy to service, but we have to understand that the most convenient and the better for us is the commercial account, the B account. So we invest last year a lot of research in mining of the vehicle. So now we have the vehicle in very good shape. We only had to do the monthly mining, like change oil, but all the major work was done. So I think so we're going to have a break that we don't have to spend $40,000 in one vehicle. What happened in the beginning of the year or the ending of the last year. We hope that's not going to happen, and that's going to saving money. We have a very good team of employees, very, very excellent team. And that is and this is a very value. We have a people who started to working someday at 1 in the morning to do CERO job. We have everybody in CERO are using their own computer, their own phone, their own car, and everything. So we have a very loyal team in CERO, and I think so that is the CERO future. In the last few months, like I was explaining, that we have an issue with the driver, short CDO driver. We have a new driver, a very good new driver that I started his training this week. So I think so in the coming week, we're going to be fine. We're going to have all the driver that we needed. And that's put us in better position, more efficient, because if we have 2 drivers in the morning, nobody had to work 11 hours. We don't have to pay overtime to nobody. So each driver working 7 hours or 8 hours, and that is going to be, and that's going, and all the work going to be done. And the next driver who came in the afternoon completed the route, and that put us in better efficient position. So that's the plan for 2023. So I'm sorry that we didn't, CERO management team wasn't available to prepare any report because we didn't know about it.
Thank you so much for being here, Josefina, and sharing all of that. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your candor there. I do want to offer space now for a quick Q&A. Overall, any questions about any of the folks who presented tonight, including Josefina's comments about CERO's updates?
I just want to say congratulations on your new clients, by the way. Yes. And sorry to hear so the pandemic just threw everybody off course. And so I'm very glad that you all are finding your way and things are looking better this year.
We are very happy. We are working together. And last night you see Antonio who came to the meeting with me. And this is the kind of people that we have. All these people working with a lot of love, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. When they came, we had to figure out, we fix it, we do it. That's everybody say, we fix it, we do it, we figure out all the time. And that's made you feel happy and enjoy working with the people. Yeah, thank you.
I just wanted to, thank you for mentioning that, Robin. I just wanted to, I think you named them, Josefina, but I was just curious about who the new customers are.
We have a new place that opened over here, and it's a senior living, Waterstone in Burlington. They started last week. They signed an agreement with us. Another senior resident, they signed with us, is North Hill in Needham. They signed it with us. We have another customer close to Everett. The name is a little confusing and it's hard for me to mention that it's a new customer too that we signed an agreement with them. And we have another customer in Burlington area too, because we try to build density, the density of the route. Now we have about 7 or 8 customers in Burlington area, and that's more efficient for us because when the vehicle going over there for a few minutes, jumping from one customer to another customer, and that is bring us a lot of efficient in labor, in time, in fuel, and everything. And that's, yeah, Waterstone is, we like to have a senior resident because they do very, very good job. And they are, and most of the time it's big account. It's not a small account or big account. The same with North Hill and Needham, it's big account. And when these people started, maybe they started with 564 a barrel. But after a few months, we working with them, the process moved forward, and they increased the number of the barrel, and they increased the number of the day that we had to go over there, and that's mean increased revenue. That's happened, for example, with Sharp Ninja and Needham. They are our customer, and we've been working with Sharp Ninja for almost 3 years. And we going to Sharp Ninja twice a week. But Sharp Ninja is a very responsible environment corporate. Now Sharp Ninja, after they see the work that we've been doing with them for all this year, today we have a meeting with them when they wanted that we going over there 5 days a week because they're going to add 2 more kitchen in the building. So that's the work that we have to do with the customer, because when working with the customer to improve it and move forward with the process, and as this is going to be a benefit for us because the customer going engage, going increase the volume of they composting, and that increase the revenue for us. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
One day, for example, let me put you this example. One Sunday, the driver came to me Friday and said, Josefina, the bar in City Fresh, I overloaded, Josefina. It's too heavy. You have to go over there. I said, one Sunday, I said, let me jump into City Fresh. Maybe I found somebody over there. Yeah, I found the manager, and I talking with him, and I explained to him what the driver was telling me. Well, what I found out after talking with him, that's the city first got a account. They cook for Boston Public School. They have a 5 bar over there. We went over there twice a week. After my conversation, the bar was increased to 9 barrels and 3 times in the week. That's revenue increase. And that's the job that we doing, and especially the sales people. I do because I'm running everywhere, but that's the job the sales people do. And that's the job that we have to do with the customer. Yes.
Thank you, Josefina. And that will close us out. We appreciate that you were able to join us at the last minute, Josefina. We really thank you for very comprehensive update. Thank you so much. And
thank you for having me here.
I'm definitely thinking about some next steps in terms of some of the challenges that you've mentioned, for sure. Thank you, Josefina.
You're welcome.
Yeah, going into Paige or James to really close us out.
Yeah, okay. I think that concludes our Ujima Wednesday meeting tonight. I imagine we can stop the recording, whoever is coordinating that. And thank everyone again for joining us. And there are no member teams tonight, so this will be the end of our program.